Hello, my name is Trevor, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Fathomless Warlock, which is a new subclass found in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Now, if you ever wanted to play something that can do a lot of damage and still control the battlefield, this is definitely the subclass for you. So I want to take a look at it, and I'm going to show you how I would build it today on Rolling with Advantage. Today, as we dive back into Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, we're going to take a look at the Fathomless Warlock, and we're going to take a look at what makes this thing super cool to play and exactly how we build it. So one of the first things we want to do is take a look at the expanded spell list, and what this does is it allows us to kind of get an idea of what the intent of this class is. We do have some damage options early on with Thunderwave, but we also pick up Gust of Wind, Sleet Storm, and Control Water, Cone of Cold. All of these things can be used to kind of hamper, push your opponents away, control the battlefield. So you have a lot of good control options here, along with Lightning Bolt and Thunder Wave. A lot of storm, ideas of how you can deal damage with lightning, control the wind, control the weather. A lot of cool things we can do with this. Now, at first level, we also pick up Tentacle of the Deeps, and what this allows us to do is summon a magical tentacle, and as a bonus action, you create this 10-foot long tentacle. And it has to appear anywhere within 60 feet of you, and then it lasts for a minute. But the cool thing is it doesn't take concentration; it just lasts. So think of this as the spiritual weapon for the Warlock, and it doesn't cost a spell either. You can just pull this thing up, and then when you create the tentacle, you make a melee spell attack against someone within 10 feet of it, and on a hit, it takes a D8 cold damage. Its speed is reduced by 10 feet. That's super cool. So if you can basically hit someone with this, you can hamper that person from getting to you or getting to another target. And then as you level up, it does a little bit more damage. Now the cool thing is on each of your turns as a bonus action, you can actually move the tentacle and repeat the attack. So this is a bonus action attack you can do every round. Super duper cool. So with that, you're going to be able to hit people, do a little extra damage, and then slow people down on the battlefield. So let's keep that in mind as we think about how we're going to build it. Also, at first level, Gift of the Sea. This is a great flavor ability. It allows us to get a swimming speed of 40 feet. We can breathe underwater. At 6th level, we pick up Oceanic Soul. You're now even more home to the depths. I gain resistance to cold damage, and when I'm fully submerged, I can basically communicate with anything underwater, and they can communicate with me. So this is your Aquaman ability. Also at 6th level, we get Guardian Coil. Your Tentacle of the Deeps can defend others, and this is pretty cool. You can actually use your reaction now to reduce the damage that they take. So this is cool. With this one ability now, the Warlock has something to do on its bonus action and with its reaction using the tentacle every round. That's super cool. At 10th level, we get Grasping Tentacles. We get the ability to cast Everard's Black Tentacles. Now the cool thing is that whenever I cast a spell, the patron's magic bolsters you, and I grant you a number of temporary hit points equal to your Warlock level. That is awesome. And it says that damage can't break your concentration on this spell. So at 10th level, you're just going to be throwing tentacles out everywhere. Great flavor ability. And finally, at 14th ability, Fathomless Plunge, which is a teleport. You can go to any body of water. You and your party basically can go to a body of water or 30 feet from it. So basically at 14th level, you can just start teleporting around the world. Very, very powerful, very cool ability. Okay, so a lot to unpack here, but I'm going to show you how my first pass of building this. Some of the things I like about it is I like the tentacle, that I can move this thing around and slow people down. And there's a way that we can kind of wombo combo what the Warlock already can do. And I'll show you how I would build it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is as we build a Fathomless Warlock is we're going to go through here. We're going to pick the optional class features and customize your origin. Be sure you click on this on D&D Beyond. We're going to use some of these new Tasha features here in a second. For race, we're going to pick Mountain Dwarf. They're going to be crazy popular now, especially for casters, and here's why. They get Dwarven armor training. So here's a caster that can cast, wear light and medium armor. So we don't have to worry about using armor of shadows or something like that. My dwarf can just wear some armor. Super, super good. Now, what we're going to be doing is we do want to have the +2 to Constitution, but the +2 to Strength they normally get, we're going to use the new Tasha rule. We're going to use Origin Manager. We're going to flip that, and we're going to put it over to Charisma. So now we have Charisma +2. We also have Constitution +2. Okay? Now, I went ahead and made this character 6th level. What we're going to do through here is we're going to pick the patron, which is going to be the Fathomless. For Packed Magic, we already saw the spell list that we get. We saw Tentacle of the Deeps, Gift of the Sea. We saw all of this, but where we're going to be making our big choices is going to be at 2nd level, and that's going to be with our Eldritch Invocations. We're going to take the tried and true to Agonizing Blast and Repelling Blast. We're really going to be building up Eldritch Blast. I know, no big surprise, but the way this is going to work comboed with the Tentacle is very interesting. So think of it this way. I can push something away from me with Eldritch Blast using Repelling Blast. I hit it with the Tentacle, and now not only have I pushed it away, I've also reduced its speed. This allows you to basically kite enemies away from you. That is super, super good. Now, the other thing that we're going to take is the Pact Boon. We're going to take the new Pact of the Talisman. Now, there's a lot of cool things that we can do with this, but one of the big things is whenever if you fail an ability check, you add a d4 to the roll, potentially turning the roll into a success. So think of it as kind of like a cheeky way to get guidance on your character. But the 5th level Eldritch Invocation, we're going to take Rebuke of the Talisman. This is interesting. When the wearer of the talisman is hit by an attacker you can see within 30 feet of you, you can use your reaction to deal psychic damage to the attacker equal to your proficiency bonus and push it 10 feet away from the talisman's wearer. So it could be on you, or you could give this to someone else. The idea here is between Repelling Blast on Eldritch Blast, Rebuke of the Talisman, and also your Tentacle hitting people. You're going to be pushing people away. You're going to be locking people down. And we haven't even talked about your actual spell slots as well. So this is how I would play this. Now, at 4th level, I would just pump more points into Charisma because you need to have as high a Charisma as possible. And then we talked about the Oceanic Soul and the Guardian Coil already that allows you to prevent damage with your tentacles. Now, how this is going to play is we're going to look at spells. Now, for cantrips, you're obviously going to take Eldritch Blast. You could do Friends. It's a great cantrip for Warlocks. It's amazing. The other thing we like is Minor Illusion. Minor Illusion is a really good cantrip I like. There's a lot of cool things you can do with it. And these are the spells that I picked. I like Thunderwave. I love Invisibility. My friend Laz has showed me the power of Mirror Image on a Warlock. Also, Suggestion is really good. I get Fly, Sleet Storm, and finally Lightning Bolt. Now, traditionally for me, I like to see Warlocks using their spell slots for more utility types of things, and maybe 1 or 2 damage spells here or there, but you're so limited on how many spells that you can cast. I'm relying on Eldritch Blast to be my big damage. I want to do that, and I want to move things around and maybe pull up some type of concentration thing. I like Gust of Wind early, and then eventually I'll replace that with Sleet Storm. So this is how I would play up to 6th level. It's just kind of where my idea, and you can kind of expand on it from here, is basically to be able to push people away, control the battlefield, and then slow people down with the Tentacle. That's how I would play the Fathomless Warlock. Now, for abilities, this is how I did under Point Buy. 10 in Strength, 14 Dex, 12 Constitution with +2 to Dwarf. That'll give me a 14. 11 Intelligence, 12 Wisdom, and 14 Charisma. I get another +2 because I moved the stats around, put me at 16. And then I get the ASI bump at 4th level to get me to 18. For background, you pick what you want. We can go Acolyte. You totally just pick whatever you want. It doesn't really matter here. The point here is that when I take a look here at 6th level, because I can wear medium armor, you can pick up some cheap scale mail, and all of a sudden I'm a caster with 16 AC. If you can, get some half plate eventually at 750 gold, you can get 17 AC. It's really, really high. You do that, you cast Mirror Image. All of a sudden, you are a very, very tanky caster that's actually pushing out a lot of decent damage with your Eldritch Blast, and then controlling the battlefield with the Tentacle. I think this could be a lot of fun to play because it gives the Warlock something more to do every turn than just Eldritch Blast, be able to move around the Tentacle and control the battlefield in that way. So I think this would be fun. It's like a support damage player, and I think that'd be kind of cool. to see how this plays out. Now, if you have played a Fathomless Warlock or you're currently playing one and you're playing it differently, I'd love to hear your ideas. I'd love to, put some comments down below. Or you can join our Discord. I'll put a link down in the description. We can kind of talk out about it. In our current game, we have a new Genie Warlock, which is kind of played a little bit similar to this, the fact that it's a dwarf with the armor. And I have found just in the first couple of games, he is super duper tanky. So I think this is a really cool little combo that we've put together, and I'm curious to hear how your games go. So until next time, let's keep rolling with advantage and keep the ideas coming. Thanks a lot. Bye.